Hi, I'm Janell Shires, Youth and Family Program Director here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Seattle. Thank you for joining me today. Make sure that you click on subscribe below so that you're notified when more videos get posted. We are using the Goldlen Thread of Truth curriculum, and we are kicking off the summer 8 weeks of happiness for your children and your teens. So these videos are meant for you to watch, and then you can use the discussions, the stories, the crafts to have a conversation with your family about different philosophies, spiritual practices, faiths, and just some fun ideas. So this month we're kicking off the Summer of Fun, and it's about creating freely. So freedom to create anything is a desire for our lives. I think we all feel that way, where we want to create freely, but we also want to do that without resistance. Nature is a really good way to show us how things can happen without that resistance. But in our lives, where does that resistance show up? I would say that it shows up in our fears, our worries, our doubts. But I also believe, and here at the center, we believe that we are meant to be happy and have that freedom in our lives. So Marianne Williamson, in one of her books, talks about the fact that what holds us back is our fear of being that powerful, successful person, where it's our light that scares us, not our darkness. So we need to remember we're all a child of God or spirit or the universe, whatever you want to call it. And because of that, we are meant to shine. We shouldn't dim our lights for someone else. And by playing small, that doesn't serve us or the world. So having that remembrance that we are meant to create freely and we are meant to be happy and have our desires met is really important. So in nature, if you look at some of the examples of non-human items, so say for example, can non-human items have desires? Maybe, maybe not. But if it doesn't have resistance, it just does its thing. So we have salmon that go upstream every year. We have turtles that return to their birthplace and set up their nests. We have trees every spring that want to go back into their leafy state. So those are good visual nature reminders of how we can be without resistance. So how can you achieve your dreams? I would say that you need to have that ability to listen with your heart and use your intuition, your instincts. And how can we release that resistance? That's kind of a tough one, because we really need to have that faith and see the goodness in all that there is. And with this, we can talk about different examples of how we may want to create something in our lives. So say, for example, you decide one day that you want to run a 5K, but all you're doing is you're walking around the block once a day. So you can have that desire, you can plant that seed, but if you're worried or thinking to yourself, ooh, I shouldn't have set that goal, that's a pretty tough one. I don't think I can run that far. That is you adding that resistance to your happiness, to your desires. So here at the center, we do something called affirmative prayer, a spiritual mind treatment. And so with our children, we talk about setting that intention and doing that belief and that prayer about it. So we call it treat and move your feet. So you can know that and have the faith, but you also need to do some work to get there. It's not just going to poof overnight, you can run a 5K. So with your older children, and depending on your family situation, how young you want to go, there's some really great examples of adversity on TED Talks. And I will put a link below by a man named Blake Haxton, who was a very successful high school rower who had something terrible happen. And it shows how he overcame that resistance. And this is where even people that you may know who have gone through illnesses or injuries, you can really personalize those examples for your children. So with your younger ones who likes to do crafts, I did a little free-flowing art project. So you can do just a creative without any resistance activity. So this is just crayons that I've just done a little abstract drawing. If you have finger paints, those are so fun to do, where you just get that tactile ability. If you're out by the beach, do some finger hand drawing. So what can they create without having any expectations? So thank you for joining me. I would really appreciate some comments down below. And you can also reach me at my email, janells@spiritualliving.org. So thanks for joining today. Take care.